Hey, it's Cobra here at MaddenGuides.com, and for this video breakdown, I want to show a route combo that's pretty effective as far as attacking zone coverage, and it's one that you can pretty much run from pretty much any formation in the game in any passing play. As long as you got a tight end lined up somewhere in the play, it'll work. So the name of it is called Seam Delay Tight End Fade. And let's go ahead and take a look at the play that we're going to use with this breakdown. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. And the name of the play is going to be called Ohio Spacing out of the Gun Wing Stack. And you'll find this particular play out of the Buccaneers playbook. And if you're following along and you want to use it against a defense, it's the 4-3 normal. Cover 3 sky is the one that we're going to use this with as far as with this breakdown. So if you want to get a chance to and want to go and check this out, those are the two plays that we're using for this breakdown. All right, let's go ahead and get ready to get on the field here. So we'll go ahead and do that. And the only reason I chose this play is just because if you look at your screen here, let's go ahead and just kind of zoom in a little bit here. The reason I took this play was because of these two receivers, or at least because I had two tight ends lined up in it. We're going to go ahead and zoom out. I don't really need to zoom in on this one, but at any rate, the two receivers that I wanted to get on the field here were these two tight ends. So you got this tight end here, which is actually the tight end 2, and then you got the tight end 1 who's lined up here, and this happens to be Gronk. And I really like this route combination with the two tight end sets, the wing tight end sets, because you know you're going to get at least you can run this way because you got the tight end lined up on the wing, and then you got the tight end 2 lined up on the line of scrimmage. So it's kind of effective. But like I said, you can run this with other formations and plays as well. You just got to make sure you have it tied in. But anyways, that's the reason I chose this one. And what I want to do is I want to go ahead and show you how you can run this and make it pretty effective. So let's look at the coverages real quick on the defensive side of the ball. Like I said, it's just going to be cover 3. You got a couple defenders dropping back in hook zones and a couple back in curl flats. So there's really just two defenders that we really got to deal with this, and those are those two hook zone defenders. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and hot route the inside receiver, or the inside tight end. We're going to go ahead and hot route him on a streak. You can see on your screen there. And then we're going to go ahead and hot route the tight end, in this case the tight end 2, which is Gronk. We're going to go ahead and hot route him on that delayed seam route, or delayed fade route. And what I like about this is once he goes up the field, he's going to get open because this defense receiver, which is that tight end 2, is going to go up the field, and what he's going to do is he's going to draw this hook zone defender out of the picture. He's going to have to go with him, so he's going to take him out. By the time the tight end goes out, this tight end 2 goes out, then there should be a nice buffer where I can make that throw where there won't be anybody in that area. Also, if you throw in the fact that the running back is running this little route out towards the right, he's going to draw anybody over there away from the tight end as well. So that kind of adds into it. You don't have to have that, but it definitely helps. So that's the idea of this. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and run the play. Now, once I snap the ball, I'm going to get ready to hit that, tap that B button because I want him to go out. You're going to see where it says release on the tight end 2. You want to make sure you get him out pretty fast. You don't want him to stay in there and block. You want him to get going. So let's go ahead and run it. See how I release it, and I just throw it. And he's wide open down the field for about a 12-yard gain. And that's what I like about this particular play, or at least this route combo, is that a lot of times you're going to find him open because you're clearing out the underneath defenders, allowing him to get open underneath. And that's the reason I like this. So again, if we watch this, let's go ahead and focus in on some players here. First, let's focus in on this guy right here and watch what he does in reaction to the way this tight end 2 goes down the field on that route that he's running as far as that seam route that I hot routed him on. So let's just go ahead and run the play here. Now there's a good example of what's going on right there. See how he's dropping back? If you were to zoom in a little bit on this, let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. And you can really see it with him dropping back now. He's dropping back into that area. He's dropping back into this area here. He's dropping back. And then as you see, this receiver here, which is the tight end, is going up the field. Now, if we unzoom this a little bit, let's go ahead and unzoom it. The tight end 2 looks like he's going to stay in the pass block. So initially, he looks like he's staying in. He's really not, because no matter when I'm dropping back with my quarterback, I'm going to go ahead and hit that B button like I did on the screen when we actually ran the play. and I want him to go out now. I want him to get going. The faster I can get him going, the better off I am. So if he gets going, he's trailing behind the tight end 2, and there's no defenders in there. And if you look over here, this guy right here who's playing that curl flat, look what he's reacting to. He's reacting to the running back. So he's going out there to cover him. So it's going to leave a wide open area, whereas I'm dropping back my quarterback, and that's what you're seeing on your screen. Is I'm dropping back my quarterback, then I can look down the field, and then I can make the simple little throw to the tight end for a nice gain down the field for 10 to 12 yards at least, maybe more, depending on how far and how long I can wait to make that throw. And that's what you just saw here. It's just a great example of how this can work in Madden football this year. And this isn't just something that's not been around this year. This has been around. There's been those tight end delay seams in the game that I've used over the years where they were built into the play. So this is certainly something you can use to go ahead and attack zone coverage and have some success with it. Let's just take a look at one more defense and see how it reacts to cover 2. A defense like, let's go into 4-3. And the reason I picked the 4-3 defense, if someone's wondering, was with the 4-3 defense, because of the personnel here, as you can see, we've got 12 personnel. You've got the one running back, and you got the 2 tight ends. That's the reason that I went ahead and chose that particular defense, because technically the 4-3 normal would, when you think about that, that's the kind of defensive coverage that would be called, or at least the defensive personnel that would be called against that in typical situations. But at any rate, let's go ahead and take a look at this Tampa 2 defense. We'll go ahead and run the Ohio spacing out of the gun wing stack. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and streak the tight end 2, and then we're going to go ahead and put the tight end 1 on a delay fade. And we should look at your screen here and you can see it. So same idea. Oh, I hit the wrong button there. Got a pick. That was not my own fault there. I hit the wrong button. It's all live, you know. So we'll go back in here and do this and redo this play. You know what? Better yet, let's just do it from here. Let's do the same thing. I made a mistake. We don't need Gronk. We'll just run it from another formation. Let's do it out of the mesh, out of the single back wing tight. This is on the Panthers playbook. Why not? We don't have quite the same quarterback, but sometimes when you start getting a little old, and you guys have followed me around for a while, my fingers aren't always up to snuff like they used to be. So anyways, that's great. So I'm not going to redo the video just to show you how this thing works, because it's going to work the same regardless of what formation we run this against. So let's go ahead and do the same thing. Right there, you got the tight end 1. As you look at your screen, he's running the seam route. And then we're going to go ahead and put the outside tight end right there on the delay. So there you can see the same. It's basically the exact same route combination, slightly different formation. The running back, rather than him running that route out to the right as far as like a swing route, now he runs a wheel route, which is fine too. I don't mind this. Plus, you also got some other receivers coming across the field from the left side, which is nice. So what the hey, let's just go ahead and run it, and we'll see what happens with it. And again, he's open for where I picked up 6-7 yards right there. Same thing, same idea, same concept. Maybe not quite as open as he was against the 4-3 defense that we just showed, but it does the same thing. So you get the same, basically you end up getting the same, you get the same things right there. So again, he's open. The only difference I would say here is the reason he doesn't drop as far back as you look at, because there's an extra linebacker into cover 2. So if you were to look at your screen here, let's go ahead and zoom in again. You'll notice, let's go ahead and redo this one more time here, just make it a little bit easier to see what I'm trying to show here. I can't even get this right today, apparently. So this guy right here, this is the linebacker just playing the Tampa 2. He's playing the deep middle. It's supposed to be, well, playing a hook zone where he drops back in the Tampa 2. So you can see he's dropping back. So this linebacker who's playing the hook zone, who's supposed to be kind of dropping into this area here, he does not have to follow him. But that's fine because he drops far enough back because of the delay that's being ran by this tight end. He doesn't go out very far. You know, he drops back because that tight end hasn't gone out. Now, once that tight end does go out, he'll come up, but he'll be too late, and you'll still pick up a nice gain there. So that's kind of nice to see that against cover 2. So with that said, the more linebackers you got playing hook zones, a little bit more difficult it's going to be, but you still should be able to pick up some yardage, maybe 5 to 7 yards against cover 2 versus maybe 10 to 12 versus, say, cover 3. And cover 4, I believe, you might only have one linebacker dropping back in a hook zone. So At any rate, this route combination, the one I'm showing here, is pretty effective as far as attacking zone coverage. And the name of the route combination is called seam, delay, tight end fade. Hey Madden gamers, if you enjoy this Madden video or any other video, please subscribe to the Madden Guides YouTube channel. And as always, thanks for watching and for your support.